vacation, you don't have to worry about which bills you're gonna pay. And you don't have to worry about socking not only enough for the vacation away, you also have to sock enough for, the additional to be able to cover those bills while you're not.
So what I'm asking you guys, when you say that debt freedom, when you say that financial freedom, what exactly does that mean? And so for a lot of us, we're too afraid to look at exactly what that means. Which, by the way, that's accountability, awareness and accountability. We're going to talk a little bit about that. So when we're looking at that, what exactly does that mean? Then all of a sudden we start seeing these numbers start to accumulate, and then it gets maybe somewhat big. I mean, if we've got a car loan, maybe we've got some other unsecured debt, whether it be a credit card or something like that, then we might actually have a mortgage and stuff like that. That can start to mount, right? So how do you eat an elephant?
One bite at a time.
One bite at a time. Guys, if you're not familiar with it, Dave Ramsey calls it the debt snowball. If you're not familiar with it, Google it. It's one of the most fabulous things that you can work on to go ahead and reach financial security in the most aggressive path possible. But what it does though is it forces you to have to be extremely clear as to what that money is being used for. And I'll tell you, the reason I'm kind of harping on this here is that everything I'm going to share with you for the remainder of the time that we have today, and the remainder of the power sessions that we've got over the course of the next month, those are all practical things that I know will not get put into play at the highest level until you have clarity here. Does that make sense? You guys kind of got that? So that, the why is extremely important. We're going to talk a little bit about that. So now I want to ask you, if $87,840 we're going to be able to achieve at the minimum over the next 12 months, who do you need to become to be that person? If you're brand new in the industry, or if you're looking to add on 16 additional transactions, who do you need to become? Oh, I love that. So what do you mean by that? You need to become somebody that's already done it.
Well, you need to, at the very least, find a mentor or someone that has done it and imitate their daily process.
Yeah, I agree. We're going to talk a little bit about that too. Modeling, right? We don't need to reinvent the wheel, right? I think that's a huge point there. What else? Who else? Who do we have to become? Your own CEO. Yeah, will you fire yourself? Some of us would probably say, yeah, right? So, to me, I think that it's a discipline, right? It's a discipline that we've got to, put into play. And that discipline is not developed overnight. That armor is not built overnight. So that's something that we're going to work on here too. Now, why do you think we're doing Ignite now? So is it August 30th? We're going through
When things slow down, usually.
Yeah, right?
To keep them going.
We're on a cyclical industry, right? Transactions typically dip, fall, winter months, right? That's a good point. So maybe we need to be more aggressive with our actions, our behaviors, right? Disrupt that market. That's a good point. What else? Oh, right? You guys know what bold is? Bonnie, you know what bold is? Tell me a little bit about bold.
Bold gets you in the activities that you need to be doing anyway, and it'll get you like to nice people breakfast. High accountability as well.
Yeah. So I think that, basically over the course of the next month, we're going to focus on mastering the basics and the fundamentals. And I think what Bold does is a fabulous job of bringing even more intensity, more excitement, more energy, more accountability to those advanced tools that those top agents are putting into play right now. And so that actually starts up October 2nd. How about that? Is there an investment for Bold? How much is that investment? $800. So now, if I have no transactions in the pipeline, does that $800 look pretty imposing? Yeah, it does, right? Now, I also know that Bold yields 8.9 transactions per agent across the nation in an 8-week period. That ends up being somewhere around a little over $45,000 in commissions in 8 weeks, right? So that $800 is a pretty good investment to get $45,000 in gross commission. However, that is one of the primary objections that I get from agents about Bold. If we have deals in the pipeline, does it make sense then? Is it a little bit easier, a little bit more palatable to dive into, right? So there's a method to this madness, right? It's to create that energy and that momentum and keep it going towards the end of the year. By the way, what month comes after December? January. Something else change on the calendar? Year, right? So do you think we might be positioning ourselves to finish strong and then also be able to launch out of the gate at a high level in 2013? I can tell you that that's one of the major factors that helped Will Klein have an exponentially different path in his career from 2011 to 2012. And I'll tell you what, guys, every one of you guys, I know he would love to hear from you. Talk with him about that. Ask him exactly what changed his trajectory from 2011 to 12, and he'll tell you it was Bold. Because Bold came in October last year, and I was able to help position him for a huge 2012. And now you're seeing him do 17 listings in a 30-day period. And literally off the charts as far as the difference in business that he's having. So that's the kind of stuff that I want to see happen for you guys, right? All right. So let's talk a little bit about what Ignite is. So Ignite is 18 power sessions over the course of the next month, all right? Today is your first power session. You're going to find out all about what it is, and then today we're actually going to get into the live activities of exactly what Ignite is, all right? The cool thing about this is that the idea is to give sips of information so that you can put it into play, right? It's set up every day from 9:30 to 11 o'clock. I'll be very honest with you today, guys. You know, there's a lot in here, so getting done by 11 o'clock is probably a little unrealistic. It's probably more like 11:30 today. And I understand if you got things you got to get done, you know, definitely make sure you got to do that. So 9:30 to 11 o'clock, sips of information. It's done by myself and then the agent faculty. What's important about that? What's important about having the top agents share what's working in today's market? Evidence, right? So it's not just rhetoric about what you're seeing in the material here. You're seeing agents that are actually in the trenches, in today's market, in your market, and they're sharing with you what's working. By the way, they're sharing with you what's not working, which is just as important, right? Right? So now the other thing I got to share with you is that this information that's in here, it's not just, you know, somebody's getting together and saying, hey, we need to go ahead and put some fresh material together so we can get people excited about it. What they did is they had a chance to interview over 100 of the top agents around the country, and they wanted to find those commonalities of what is working in their market. And this is what you see. So what I can tell you is that what's in here has evidence of success. If it's outside of this, I'm not going to say it doesn't work. I'm just going to say it might not have that track record. Now, you guys are all in here, and you guys have committed to your career. If you've committed to your career, are you going to go ahead and bet it on something with a track record or something that doesn't have a track record? I'm with you. Now, I might do some of those things that don't have a track record as a compliment. So if I'm, you know, the primary things that I want to get done, probably going to be what we're talking about in here. And then those things that maybe are exciting or some different thing that might not have a track record, might do that after hours, right? All right, so we're running like the wind. You guys know we basically just broke open the book and we're 15 minutes in. We're flying. We were flying. You guys ready? All right, so guys, look at the prepare for the class. It's the second or third page. It's all in gray as far as prepared students are successful students. Be familiar with the entire Ignite calendar and what students need to bring to each session. I want you guys to look at this. Is it in one of the first or second page? It should be in there. If not, I'll just kind of share with you what it is. For each session, these are the things that you'll need to bring. You'll need to bring your cell phone. You'll need to also have your database. You'll also have to have your calendar, a pen or pencil, and then any assigned work that we're working with. And then if you can, a laptop or a tablet. It might not be in there. This might just be in my instructor manual here. But these are the things that you'll be looking to do. Because there's not just going to be a role playing, there's going to be a real playing, right? You know, so what I want you guys to really remove yourself from is that getting ready to get ready. You know, there's a lot of folks who are out there getting ready to get ready. Well, we got to go ahead and strip that away and just go do. The individuals that I see have the highest level of success don't have the fear of failure. The individuals that I see having more reluctance and less momentum are the individuals that say, all right, I'm going to go and prepare, and then the end of the day comes and then nothing got done. They were prepared to get prepared, but nothing happened, right? So just go out there and do it. And guess what, guys? You know what? We live by the model of we're going to fail forward. You know, there's this myth out there that the more success we have, the less failure we have. The truth of the matter is that the more success we have is the underlying failure is right there. It's about how we recover. It's about, you know, getting up the next step. So here we go. Cell phones. You're going to bring your database. You're going to have your calendar. You're going to have a pen or pencil to write with, and assigned work are the 6 things that we're going to look at. Cell phone, database, calendar, something to write with, and assigned work. All right, so it is a doing session. We're going to talk about what the daily 10-4 is. So the daily 10-4, guys, these are the critical activities of what it takes to be a realtor. The critical activities. Practice, we're gonna practice what we say with scripts. Guys, this freaks people out, big time. Scripts, what's the connotation? When I say scripts, what's your knee-jerk reaction? Ooh.
Gonna call them up, cold calling.
Ooh. Robotic, right? All right, we're gonna talk about that too. We're gonna have to reframe that. We're gonna have to reframe it, because I you know what, when I first got introduced to scripts, I felt the exact same way. That's not me, that's not the way I speak, right? So we're gonna talk about that. Then we're gonna make calls during the sessions. We're gonna learn new skills and ideas. We're gonna leave with a plan of action. The idea is that every day you leave from this, you're gonna have a plan of action every single day to progress your momentum and progress your business, all right? So let's look at the table of contents. One of the big things about this is that we're going to make sure that we're holding each other accountable. Last through, right? Page 3, somewhere about there. Once the numbers come up on the pages, I can share with you exactly where we're at. But we're almost there. All right, so being accountable, what does that mean to you guys?
How about yourself, to your team,
To your team, to yourself,
business,
business,
company?
company? How about your family? No.
What's accountable mean?
Yeah, what's accountable mean?
Stop hiding.
What does that mean?
Stop hiding.
Take responsibility? Yeah. I
Put
agree.
it out there so that you have to do it.
Put it out there. How would you put it out there? That's a great idea.
If you have, say, a team or someone that you're working with, you've got to put it out there, what it is you plan to do, what it is you want to do, and then you hold each other accountable by saying, okay, did you do it?
Right.
You know, how did you do it? And if you didn't, you're going to feel this big.
It's not necessarily a beat-up session. I mean, it is
I know,
something, it's
but-
about awareness, right? You know? So, you know, we're gonna have those critical activities about what's important every single day. The big rocks of your day, right? We're gonna talk about that. And the way I look at it is it's awareness of, first of all, what those are, and then where am I at in relationship to my goals? Did I get done what I needed to get done? Right? And so, for instance, one of those things is that we need to have X amount of contacts a day. And let's, you know, I know in the 10-4, it's 10 contacts a day is what the prescribed amount is. And let's say you end up having 7. Is that something that you should beat yourself up over? No, right? No, but because, I mean, you probably did 7 more than you did the day before, right? And if we're doing none, so let's celebrate that win. But then we also have to be thinking, gee, if I'm only doing 7 a day and the prescription is 10, maybe that, you know, I might not hit my goals. That puts my goals in jeopardy, right? So just being aware of that, you know, and if you're comfortable with that goal being in jeopardy, that's fine. Then 7's your number. If you say, hey, $87,000, that's not enough. I got to get more than that to go ahead and take care of, you know, my obligations and that sort of thing. And what my why is, then maybe you need to be doing 15 contacts a day. Does that make sense a little bit? Okay. So the table of contents are in there. We're going to go ahead and flip through that though. Advanced preparation. So this is actually 1-1. So basically, we're going to have the market center orientation, the technology orientation, productivity coaching orientation. We're going to have that in a calendar next week for you guys, so that'll be all prescribed out there in September calendar, and you'll be able to look at that in greater detail. Skip ahead to page 5. So this is it, page 5 and 6, this is what each one of the power sessions are. So when you guys are looking at, gee, what is that power session going to be? What kind of topics are we going to go over? You know, what are the main focus, what's the main focus of that session? It's right here, guys. You know, so you might even want to go ahead and flip that back just to make sure that you're aware of it, because we're going to have actually a challenge for the individuals that are able to commit to the whole session. We've got kind of some exciting stuff for it. And some of you guys are going to say, man, I'm in on that. I want to do that at a high level. And then some of you guys are going to say, look, you know, I got some family obligations, I got some other obligations that are going on in September. I might not be able to go ahead and commit to it in its entirety, but there's some things that I want to go ahead and focus on mastering, or I want to go ahead and take to the next level, take my knowledge to the next level. So you've got a very clear idea of exactly what each session is, so I can make sure I fold this back. Each session is basically going to have, it's going to be full of action, productivity, and tracking. There's that accountability again. And then I want you guys to write this in there. tracking to get results. Now, I love having you guys all in here today. I love having you guys all in here today. And when you guys leave here at 11:30, is business just gonna magically appear for you? No. Put it out there.
Yeah.
Yeah. I like that.
Osmosis.
Osmosis. I wish that I could say with some degree of certainty that that was the case. However, I would consider that more luck than more happenstance, basically, right? So it could happen, but it's not likely, right? What's likely to happen if you get out there and you start implementing some of this stuff? Start tracking. It's predictable. It becomes predictable. So when you have predictable businesses coming in on a regular basis, that pipeline starts to get full, more and more full. Where's your stress level? Down. Right? Where's that stress level at home? I mean, I can tell you, when that cash flow, when that pipeline started to dip, those conversations with my wife weren't tremendously incredible. Right? I mean, can anybody relate to that? Yeah, right? Okay, all right, I just want to make sure I wasn't the only one, right? All right, so basically this is the stuff to get results. This is the information, this is the knowledge. Now, I'm counting on you, and your family's counting on you to go ahead and implement this information. And then the third part of that is accountability, which we're going to talk further about. Okay, let's go into 1.7. So your Ignite tools. We talked a little bit about the manuals. You're going to get a manual every single session that you come to. And if you miss a manual, it's all right there online. mykw.kw.com. And just look for Ignite. You're going to have the manuals all right there. Okay? So if you miss one, you're going to be able to pick it up right there. Now the second one, there's that word scripts. Guys, why are scripts important?
Keep you on task.
Consistency.
Keep you on track, consistency.
Challenges.
Ooh, I like that. Tell me a little bit about that challenges.
To kind of step out of your comfort zone and asking harder questions.
Ooh, I like that. I like that. Yeah, we got to be bold in our conversations, right? I couldn't agree more. And another thing about this is that, the folks that are going to have the highest level of success, they're going to recognize that they're going to have to become comfortable being uncomfortable, right? Keith, you were going to say something too.
Well, my doctor has scripts. My airline pilot better have a script.
Yeah.
And my lawyer better have a script. So scripts are important to me.
Who's in control? If you have scripts, who's in control of that conversation? Now, it's not about manipulating people, it's about leading people to the right decision for them, right? Scripts help you do that in a more precise opportunity. Have you ever left a conversation, a meeting, and you're just like, what the heck was that meeting about? Right? How'd you feel about that meeting? Useless? How do you feel about, waste of time, let down? How do you feel about that person? Frustrated, right? Are they a leader? Are you a leader if you're helping your clients achieve their real estate goals? So is that congruent then? If you have you're a hodgepodge conversation and yet you're trying to position yourself as a leader within that transaction? It doesn't work, right? People want to be led, right? So, scripts are a great way to do that. Second thing, or the third thing you got there is Java. It's a toolkit. You guys are going to get a toolkit, all the different things that are going to be in here. There's going to be open house registrations, and you name it, every single session is going to have different things in there that you can go ahead and modify for your own purposes. So that's going to be, we're going to have that next week for you too. And then the daily planner, don't need to flip ahead to it right now, but later on in the book, there's an example of what that daily calendar can look like for you too. And just, to put a bow tie on those scripts, it's just ways to get to results quicker. I might maybe even write them there, ways to get to results quicker. So now on page 8 there, it says, don't let myths slow you down. Now, I don't know if I'd use the word myths. In our culture, we talk a lot about limiting beliefs. I think myths and limiting beliefs are the same thing. What would a limiting belief be? What is that? What is a limiting belief?
Telling yourself you can't do something, or you can't do that much.
I think that's perfect. I love it. And so what Ford said is that whether you think you can or you think you can, you're right. Right? So ultimately, it's a mindset. So it's limiting beliefs are all those things that tell me why I can't do it. Now, I've got 1,000 people telling me 1,000 different reasons why I can't do it, right? And do you want to surround yourself with those people? Because you might be one of those individuals. Nobody in here, obviously, nobody in here, but, you know, I'm there. But
You're over there.
what I mean by that is that we grow to the conversations that are around us. What if those conversations in our head are limiting our opportunities? I'll tell you, that's a major reason why Ignite is here to go in and infuse more energy and be around like-minded individuals that are saying, here's why I can do it. Here's why it will work. You know, I know we've got a lot of individuals that are brand new to the industry, and I'm sure a lot of you guys, you know, when entertaining some of the conversations with people that you knew, and I'm like, real estate? Now? What? I gotta tell you guys, and this isn't just because of the position that I hold, I firmly believe this is one of the best opportunities to get into real estate, or to reignite, unintended, your business. I love that, man. What you said, that was some conviction over there. Subtle conviction, but conviction. Why do you agree?
Because everybody else is getting out, and we're getting in, and we've got all those new ideas, and what we're doing now is gonna get us into what we need to be doing, so when it really picks up, we already got our foundation, we're all off to the races.
Hey guys, we're down, we've lost about 30% of the agents in the last 5 years just in St. Charles Association of Realtors. Okay, 30% of the agents have removed themselves from the industry. All the while, in July of 2012, over July of 2011, we've had 21% increase in transactions. Transactions going up, agents going down. Transactions per agent, how's that doing for you guys? Right? So I think the numbers are behind it. Now, what I want you to look at on page 8, you know, which myth has gone through your head? Which one of those myths have gone through your head? Shoot out a number. Number 2, right? Someone's being honest out there. I like it. I don't know what to say. Well, here's the thought. All successful agents internalize and master scripts. Ignite provides scripts to practice and use. All successful agents internalize and master scripts. This is the best part. Even the agents that despise scripts have mastered scripts. Because the script that they chose not to learn is now the script that they're, the converse or the inverse of that is the script that they're using, right? So think about that, guys. All successful agents internalize and master scripts. Give me another number out there that might be running through your guys' mind.
1.
I like 7.
I like
7.
7 and 8.
7.
6, 7, and 8. Man, I like that. You got some good ones over here. All right, here we go. All right, so because I'm in the business will come. I love that one, right?
Yeah.
Because I'm in the business will come. By the way, there's a lot of folks that, have you ever heard this? If you just stick around for about 3 years, that's when business starts to generate for you. Are you guys cool with waiting 3 years for that? I'm not either. Thank you very much. We're talking to the right people here. All right, so to consistently have business, you will have to consistently go get it. To consistently have business, you will have to consistently go get it. I can tell you out of 1,500 different interviews that I've had with top agents and agents that are struggling out there, I can tell you it's a market of agents that are the haves and the have-nots. It's real easy to basically boil it down. The agents that are having banner years, they're being proactive. In a number of different ways, but they're being proactive. They're going out getting the business. The agents that are getting flushed out of the market and getting crushed by the market are being reactive. So what's an example? Proactive versus reactive. Just give me, just so I know that we're on the same wavelength here. What's a proactive activity? Lead generation, which that's the all-encompassing one, right? But what does that mean specifically?
Telling people that you're in real estate, I think that's one of the biggest things.
Hey, don't be a secret agent. I love that, right? I mean, that's easy, guys. You just say, hey, this is what the industry I'm in. Guys, it's not insurance. This topic of conversation comes up quite regularly, right?
Proactive, picking up the phone, calling people, letting them know that you're in business. Reactive, sit by the phone and wait for it to ring.
Yeah.
I write that one down, but I mean,
It's not
that's
that good.
Well, here's the thing, though, guys. We've got a lot of people that are doing the telephone two-step, right? You know, and there's a story about a guy. Basically, he was having some call reluctance to, pick up the phone and tell folks, what to do and that sort of thing. His coach said, "Here's the deal. I want you to duct tape your hand to the telephone." And duct tape your hand to the telephone. You know the conversation?
Well, no, in California, they have when you surf on a surfboard, you have the tether. You tether your surfboard, so when you fall off the surfboard, you just wheel your have that tether on your leg by your desk.
Yeah.
And you gotta go to the bathroom. The roofer on that roof, putting roof up there for 6, 7, 8 hours, they don't go down and go to the bathroom. They're up there making a roof for 8 hours. So tether yourself.
Tether yourself to it. I mean, you know, basically it's just about making,
Just walk down.
making
I really don't want to think about that.
Here's the great thing I think about this industry is that
What do they do?
I think that what's customary in our industry is that there's not a lot of proactive behavior. I think that's customary. Because I gotta tell you what, if you're willing to go ahead and disrupt the market, tremendous amount of success is waiting for you. I'm talking tremendous. You know, I mean, if you just make a 10 contacts a day, you're blowing away the competition. I know it. I mean, we're in an organization that talks a lot about lead generation, and I'm embarrassed to say that we don't have the majority of our agents doing 10 contacts a day. What about other offices that are saying, hey, go do some phone duty and let the calls come in? How many agents do you think are making 10 phone calls a day there? 1, 2, 3, right?
Making 10 appointments for other people's showings.
Yeah, right. They're helping other people. All right, so 7, I'm really busy, so I'm productive. Oh, I love this one. I get those, as agents, I see this big B, he wears a badge of honor, right? B for busy, right? All right. And then I ask him, you know, so I look at their track record, and I'm like, man, so you've done like 2 deals this past year. I'm like, is everything all right at home? You okay? I mean, oh yeah, that's good. What are you busy with, right? Confuse me. All right, so I'm really busy, so I'm productive. You are only truly productive when you are converting leads and sign business. I'm gonna put something down here. We're gonna dive further into this in the course here, but if you wanna know what the 4 critical numbers that you need to be tracking, I'll show you right now. Number 1, how many contacts you're making each day. How many contacts are you making each day? Number 2, how many appointments are you setting? Number 3, how many appointments are you having? Oh, this is no different in any other sales position. Just talked to a recruiter yesterday, an IT recruiter yesterday, she's like, this is the same thing in my business. Yeah. Right. Brent, any different?
Amen.
Appointments set, appointments had, and then the third one is contracts written. I want each of you guys to leave here every single day asking yourself, how am I gonna write a contract today? Now, some of you guys might not even be licensed yet. And you're saying, what in the world? Now, the reason I'm trying to go ahead and instill that habit in you guys is that I want you to be accountable to your time. What you're doing right now, is it going to lead to business? Now, I can debate that getting, you know, the knowledge that you can implement is going to lead to business, right? It's interesting though, because I'll talk to very experienced agents, and I'll have this conversation with them. I'll say, hey, you know, if I put a gun to your head and I said, you are not able to leave this conversation until you tell me how you're going to get a contract, what are you going to do? Without every single one, there's not been one person that has not said, I do this, 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 or this. 3 or 4 things that rattle off. In this conversation, let's say it's at 1 in the afternoon. What do you think my next question is? Why haven't we done it already? Why haven't we done it? It's because we let that badge, that busyness, get in the way, right? All right, now that I'm my own boss, I don't need to be held accountable. Everybody needs accountability all the time. So, you know, one of the best things about real estate is that you're your own boss. One of the worst things about real estate is that you're your own boss, right?
As being our own boss, we're the greatest person in the world to work for. Get up in the morning, you say, oh my God, it's a beautiful day. I think I'll play golf today. Hey, let me ask the boss. Hey, boss, can I play golf today? Sure. God, I love that boss. You know, and that's the conversation. We are our own boss. And that's a detriment.
You bet. I mean, you know, if you look at, we'll talk a little bit about this, but I mean, you know, basically it's knowledge of the right activities. You got very basic ones just a second ago. It's implementing those right activities, and then it's accountability of it. By doing those 3 things in concert, it's the pathway to success with anything, and especially in real estate. And I gotta tell you, here's the thing too, guys, is that so many other agents, they don't even recognize them. They're unaware of those concepts right there, which puts you at an extreme advantage there. All right, so we're looking at 1.9. Help when you need it. Accountability sessions. What is that? So this kind of lets me dive a little bit further into that. So accountability, it's been mentioned quite a bit in a number of different programs that accountability is actually 80% of performance. Let's look at this, all right? So let's say, well, I mean, this is something that I've got an ongoing challenge. So I'm always, trying to, stay in shape and all that sort of thing, right? So if I know that I'm not supposed to eat 2 cheeseburgers a day, that's the knowledge, right? I know I'm not supposed to do that. So now, do I implement it? Do I not eat 2 cheeseburgers a day, right? Well, maybe here or there, right? So now accountability, what's that? What might I do in that?
The scale.
Okay, the scale, right? What if I took a picture of the scale every day and put it on Facebook? That'd be some accountability, right? What do you do at Weight Watchers? Anybody know? What do they do every week? Weigh you. What is that? Accountability.